How do you vote? Now, I don't mean whether or not you mail in your ballot or if you drive to the polling booths. I mean, how do you make an educated and informed vote? Do you just listen to the TV and radio ads? Or do you meet personally with the candidates by attending town halls and candidate forums? Do you have a family meeting to include the younger members of your family in the process? Or do you just wing it? I'm afraid, actually, that way too many of us just wing it and rely on our memory of what name we heard most often in those TV and radio ads. I own a couple of small businesses and I hire people to work in those businesses. When I hire them, I don't and I can't just wing it because it is too important for me to know what their background, education, experience, and level of dedication is. So when I'm hiring someone, I take the time to know as much as I possibly can about them. When they become a part of my staff, what they say and do represents me, my husband, our family brand, and the other people who endorse us, and every one of my other staff members. It is my responsibility to be sure that I am making a sound, sober, and educated decision. When you cast your vote, you are hiring someone. You are hiring this person to represent you, your values, and your vision of our nation that will be handed down to your children and your children's children. It is not something to be taken lightly and not something that should be entrusted to a gut feeling when you're standing in the voting booth. In our family, we do hold a family meeting. Our daughter Cassie has even been known to invite her friends over to be a part of these meetings. It seems that few parents are helping their children to understand that voting isn't an event, it is a process. Cassie's friends have enjoyed the time to wrestle with ideas and debate one another over the pitfalls and merits of one candidate or issue over another. They've had the opportunity to work together to research the wording, which can sometimes be confusing on some of the bills and initiatives. And this is vital. They are free to make up their own minds. Our only ground rule, which actually only applied to our daughter, was that she had to be able to answer the question, why? Why do I like this candidate? Why would he or she be effective in the job? Why would things be better or worse if we passed or rejected this specific bill? It is a powerful word, why. It helps us move the topic from our emotional reactions about it up into our logical and intellectual interactions with it. Some votes might feel good, but what will actually do good for America? Why also helps remove the knee-jerk reaction to simply vote along political party lines. Some politicians wear one letter while behaving more like they play for the other team. So by engaging our why, it no longer matters as much if there is a D or an R next to their name. For me, I am a single issue voter. The Second Amendment, period. And here is why. The stance a politician takes concerning the Second Amendment is more revealing than they would like to think. Wrapped up in one issue are that politician's attitudes toward my civil rights, my personal rights, my human rights, my women's rights, and the rights of their minority and lower socioeconomic constituents. You see, those who are anti-gun are also anti-civil, human, personal, women's, and minority rights. We call them what they are, the rights restrictors. They ask for my vote to expand their power, and at the same time, they want to limit my liberty and freedom. To help with sorting all of this out, the National Shooting Sports Foundation has Gun Vote Facebook and Twitter pages where you can stay on top of the latest real news about laws and issues related to firearms and freedom. It is easy to get confused and tripped up because the rights restrictors like to muck things up with common-sensey sounding words and ads that appeal to your heart and your emotions. It is helpful to have sound and intelligent information at your fingertips, and Gun Vote helps with that. So, while you're considering our votes at every level of government, we have lots of issues to weigh out, such as securing our borders and keeping politicians' hands out of our pockets with the way they view taxes. But for me, I will always support the people who support the Bill of Rights and protect our Second Amendment that shall not be infringed with my and their gun vote. Dan?